so many Australians, they haven't heard about Persian food. They never tried Persian food yet, but they like it. They like this food. You know, when they try for first time, they come back. They ask me, where are you from? What this food from? And I was so happy. I was like, okay, this is my job now.
Today on Dirty Linen, we are speaking to another person who has arrived in Australia as a refugee. People who've come here as refugees have brought so much to our culinary landscape and society more generally. My own father and grandparents came here in 1949. Holocaust survivors and, more immediately, escapees from the new communist regime in Czechoslovakia. They didn't have a super easy time of it, but they were granted citizenship and were able to find their way forward as full members of the society that they then went on and continued to help create and forge. But not all people arrive in Australia like this, and the way that they are welcomed, or not, can have a huge impact on their own lives and the contribution that they're able to make to Australian society. Allahyari is a cooking instructor, recipe developer, social entrepreneur, and restaurant owner. He wears a lot of hats. He was born in Iran and now, after a hard road, is an important part of Australia's culinary landscape. Welcome, Hamed. Great to have you on Dirty Linen.
Hi, Dani. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Well, I'm really excited to be chatting to you because I just think what you've done and what you continue to do is really incredible. Can you tell us about your businesses, Cafe Sunshine and SalamaTea?
I have a cafe, a social enterprise cafe run by refugees and asylum seekers in Sunshine, Victoria. And yeah, it's like I opened this cafe in 2019, July. Before that, I had catering. I was doing my own catering. And before catering, I was doing cooking classes with Free to Fit. So I started, I came from Iran at 2012. I came to Australia and then I started. Can I say my whole story?
Yeah, definitely. I was going to ask you, but you can just get on with it for sure.
All right. So I came to Australia at 2012. I came as an asylum seeker because I came by boat. And there is a reason I came by boat, and I want to tell to people who are hearing this podcast. In my country, I was born Muslim because my country is Muslim country and my parents were Muslim. They are still Muslim. And that's the law. When you're born in Iran, you're born Muslim. And there is no option, you can't choose your religion, you can't change it. When you're born Muslim, you have to die Muslim. That's what's happened in Iran. And Iranian government force people to follow that religion. And they don't have freedom about that. I was 19 years old and I became atheist. And I joined a group. It was underground illegal group. We took a risk, it was 17 people who were atheists, and we had some activities, small activities. And then after 2-3 years, a government found out about us and they arrested 4 of my friends, those 17 people, 4 of them. And then they disappeared and we didn't see them until now. Still the parents, they don't know where they are. And that's very sad because the parents, they don't know are they still alive or they are still in jail, where are they, and that's what's happened when you do something against government in Iran. And even if you are out of Iran, sometimes I do activities against Iranian government and people are telling me, Hamed, don't do that, it would be dangerous maybe for you, even you are in Australia, maybe they send someone to you. But I just want to, have freedom to talk about what they're doing, to be honest. And then, but that's we pay for that. And what was the payment? Leaving Iran illegally. And then it was dangerous and risky to come by boat to Australia, but I didn't have any time to go to embassy to get visa. I couldn't go even to embassy, they could arrest me. because they were looking for us. The quickest way could run from Iran, it was coming to Australia. That was the best option that time. And we, sometimes people think we are crazy because we did that. But, it's better. I feel like when I was taking that risk, I was telling myself, Hamid, it's better you die in ocean by a shark, not by a government. They hang you in one of the jail in Tehran. So that was the reason. So government could hang me. So I didn't stay there. I left Iran immediately that time, and I came by boat.
Hamid, it's such a intense, sad and shocking story that you tell us, and it's it causes me to reflect on the place of religion in Australia, and the fact that you had this private thought, like a change in the way that you thought about the world and about God, and that this became an external issue, something that really put your life in danger. I mean, it's so hard for most people in Australia to understand this. Was it things that you saw around you in society in Iran that caused you to lose your faith in God?
I don't know. I think because I had that pressure from my family, from the government, from community, and sometimes it's like you're telling kids, for example, you have saying, don't touch the heater to kids, that will burn your hand. When you say that to kids, they're going to touch it because they want to know what's the burning. You know what you mean? What I mean?
I do.
And that's it. I think that's the feeling when they forcing you, like you have to wake up early morning, afternoon, nighttime for you do praying. You just, praying in different language, the language you don't understand. Reading Quran is like a Persian language, is like a writing, is same as Arabic language, but we don't understand meaning of I can read Arabic words, but I don't understand the meaning. And Quran is all in Arabic word, and for me and for my friends who were close, my close friends, it was hard for us to just do something we don't understand. Like they keep saying, if you're praying, that means you're thanking your God. Okay, right, I like to thank my God to what I receive, but why I have to thank in different language? Why I cannot do that in my own language? If I'm going to talk to that God, I need to understand what I'm saying to him. Those are very small things. We had lots of big questions. Even those religious people in Iran, who we call them mullah, they couldn't answer us. And when we asked those questions, they were saying us like, you shouldn't go deeply about religion. It's not good. You shouldn't know too much, And that's like, okay, there is something wrong. There is. It's very personal things, and I don't want to be. I feel like this is personal, and I don't want to follow. I don't need religion. That's me. Some people they need. I respect their religion, but me myself, I don't want it. But in Iran, I couldn't do that. In Iran, it's not Australia. You can't tell to people you are atheist. You can't tell people you don't have religion. You can't tell to people you not believe in God, because they could just go report you, and then that's it. You're gonna be in police, religious police. We have two different police in Iran. One normal police, like Australian police. Another one is religious police called Sepah Pasaran. Sepah Pasaran, they care about your activities, about religion. Like in Ramadan, for example, Ramadan coming, if you drink water outside your home, and if they see you, they can arrest you. If women in my country, they don't wear hijab, or if they wear hijab, but the hijab is little bit, like, for example, sexy or hot, those religious police, they will arrest them. And that's not a freedom. And I feel like that time I was like, I'm going to leave Iran before they found me, so I came to Australia.
Wow. It's just such a different way of life, and about thinking about personal freedom. What was your journey to Australia like, and did you come with some of your friends that were in the atheist group with you?
No, I didn't come with friends, but every one of us go different countries. Some they are in Turkey now, some they went in Europe, and yeah, mostly in Europe and Turkey. I'm the only one I came to Australia, but I tell you about journey. It's interesting for some people. So it was like, going to Australia. The guy I found in Tehran, he said, I take you to Australia, you pay me 5,000 American dollar, and then you go over there is someone, you pay him 3,000 American dollar, and that's it. He will take you there. I didn't know that guy, but that time, I didn't have any option, only to trust. So I trust that person. And he said, you have to go to Indonesia as like you are tourist, you want to go visit Jakarta. And then you go to this, after International Airport, Jakarta International Airport, go to this address. I follow all his instructions and I went to that address. The address was motel. The guy who was there, he said, okay, where are you from? I said, I'm from Iran. This guy sent me, that's his name. And he said, he will look after me. He said, yeah, pay me 3,000 and wait here for 2 weeks in this motel. After 2 weeks, I will take you to Australia. And then I didn't ask much, but I was like, okay, I listened to him. So I was there for 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, I went to him. It's like, it's day to day. He said, no, you have to wait 1 week. Again, after 1 week, he said, wait 1 week, wait 1 week. It wasn't only me. It was other people waiting in that motel from different culture, from Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Lebanon, Iraq, everywhere. And then those people, they were like me. They were going to come to Australia. And the guy, he said 2 weeks. He changed that 2 weeks to 2 months. Anyway, we were 2 months in Jakarta. When I arrived in International Airport, over there, the police, they ask us extra money because they say you are going to Jakarta. And I paid him $1,000 just to stamp my passport to give me 28-day visa. And then just 10 minutes after that, I took the taxi. And then after Jakarta, 5 minute driving after airport, another police come front of the taxi with bike, and they stopped us. And he said, can I see your passport? I gave him my passport, and then he said, you can't go, I'm gonna deport you. And then he asked me another $500. I paid him another $500. In that motel, we wait 2 months there. Every time police see us, they ask money. Can you believe that? It's like something, they see you are from Middle East, you look Middle East, okay, these guys, they want to go to Australia, wait, let's make some money.
Wow.
And that was so disappointing. Yeah, and anyway, after 2 months, one night, the guy who moved us, we driving on the truck, it was like 114 people, 4 trucks, divided in 4 trucks. After 5 hours driving, behind the truck, big truck, we were like a like sheep. How they put animals in the truck, it was similar. And then 5 hours driving like that, it was so bad feeling. I never experienced that in my whole life, but I was like, okay, this is the cost, how much you have to pay it. And then we arrived at one of the beaches in Jakarta. I don't know which beaches, but 5 hours driving from Cisarua in Jakarta, the suburb called Cisarua, to the beach. Then we arrived there, and then in there they were some small boat for 5 people, 6 people. And then they divide us like 20 a small boat, and then we go in middle. It was one big boat. All those 114 people, they went to that boat, and it was very small. It's like a fishing boat, maximum like 60, 70 people could go inside that. But they, you can't, I can't imagine, it's so hard. I couldn't move. 38 hours we were on that boat to arrive to Christmas Island. In that 38 hours, I couldn't move. I was sitting, and sometimes when my leg get tired, standing where I was. Again, sitting, standing. That was my movement for 38 hours. Everyone, not only me, all people, women, kids, young people, old people, mixed from different countries, from everywhere. Then we arrived to Christmas Island. Then we were waiting front of Christmas Island inside the boat for 5 hours. And then we were seeing those officers who were working, Serco officers, who were working in that Christmas Island. We shake our hand. It's like, we are here. Hey. We just, they didn't even care. After 5 hours, one of the Australian Navy from back, they came and they take us. From the Christmas Island, nobody take. Then those Navy take to the Christmas Island. It was like the process, I don't know how it was working, but it was so funny. Now it's funny.
Oof,
that time was funny.
Doesn't sound very funny. It sounds inhuman.
Yeah, that was so painful that time, but right now I'm laughing. And then we went there, Christmas Island, and some condition was good. We had like English classes. So because I never prepared to leave my country before that, I never go learn language. I'm Persian, I speak Persian, my mother language is Persian, so I never prepared to learn English. I never think one day you will leave Iran to another country, so I didn't know much English, only hello, how are you, what time is it, very basic, simple. Then in Christmas Island we were there 5 months, and then after 5 months we came out with bridging visa to Melbourne. The visa condition was no work right, no study right. For 2 years, I had that bridging visa. Not only me, so many people. Still, there are some people after 8 years, 10 years in Australia, they don't have work right. They can't even volunteer. And then that's it. After 2 years waiting in Australia, I received my bridging visa again, but the condition changed. They gave me working right and a study right. After that, I started learning some English. I took some English courses and in Lowerton Education Center. And then I made myself CV with my experiences. So in my country, I was chef. I had my own small restaurant and I always were chef. So I came to Australia, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know that these people, they like my food, they eat Iranian food or not. So slowly I researched, and when I received my visa, I made myself CV with my experiences in cooking, and I went so many cafe and restaurants in Melbourne to find job as a chef, as a Persian chef in restaurant. I didn't find any good job. I only find one job after seeing 50, 60 cafes and restaurant. I found one job. The guy called me after 2 days when I left my CV in his restaurant. He said, you can come work to my restaurant every Friday, Saturday night from 5 to 11 p.m. washing dishes for $8 per hour.
God, that's terrible.
Yeah. And I decided to not work. I was like, oh, don't do that. So I make a good decision, because after that I was like, how best to make some reference. You don't have reference around Australia, you don't have qualification from Australia, so you can't find job. First go make reference. So I was like, okay, I go volunteering job. I found a center in Footscray called ASRC. It's for asylum seeker and refugee. Every day they feeding 250 people. And I went there. I started volunteering in their kitchen. Every Wednesday and Friday, I was cooking Iranian food with other people for 250 people. And that was my good start, because in that place, in that charity, I found out so many Australians, they haven't heard about Persian food. They never tried Persian food yet, but they like it. They like this food. When they try for first time, they come back. They ask me, where are you from? What this food from? And I was so happy. I was like, okay, this is my job now. But yeah, and I was lucky in that center. One of my friends, after being there for 2 years, in 2016, one of my friends, they said to me, Hamad, there is a job opportunity for you. is like running cooking classes, teaching your country food to Australians. I never teach, like, I never been teacher, but I was like, it's good opportunity, you know. I can teach food. I'm not teacher, but telling people how to cook, it's okay. I had a problem, but my English wasn't perfect. I started my cooking classes in 2016 with Free to Feed. That organization called Free to Feed, they like a social enterprise, not-for-profit organization supporting refugees and asylum seekers. I was Free to Feed first cooking instructor. I started with 1 day weekly cooking classes, then my cooking classes became very popular. Sometimes in week I had 3 cooking classes. And then in like 3 years working with Free to Feed, I finished over 200 cooking classes. And I met over 2,000 people who came to my cooking classes to learn my culture food. And those people, always I ask them, give me feedback. Tell me, do you like Persian food? Is that too salty, too sweet? Tell me what to do, you know. I always was researching about my culture food. Then those people asking me like, how much do you have restaurant somewhere to come to eat? Do you do catering? That time I didn't have restaurant, but I could do catering. So I started my catering, a small one, myself only cooking for people, like dinner parties, a small catering, a small functions. Then that became popular. I made myself an Instagram page called Hamed's Persian Kitchen. In that page, lots of inquiry people. I was like putting photos of cooking classes, photos of my catering, and people ask me more. Then I feel like I need some people to give me hand. I asked my friends, I said to them, come, let's work together, I pay you. So what I did, I said to myself, Hamed, one day if you have an opportunity to make a job opportunity to people, to give a job to people, try to give that job opportunity to people who are new in Australia, people who doesn't have qualification, who doesn't have reference, but they can cook. Like myself, I'm very good cook. I didn't have reference and qualification from Australia. After seeing so many restaurant and cafe in Melbourne, I didn't find job because I didn't have reference, because my English wasn't good, because I didn't have qualification. But those people actually missed the opportunity because I'm the good cook. So I said to myself, Hamed, if one day you open something, give the job opportunity to those people. So in my catering, I start myself. After 1 year, we were 5 people. 1 year after that, I opened Cafe Sunshine and SalamaTea house in Sunshine. And I was telling myself, okay, I do it as a social enterprise supporting refugees and asylum seekers, and make a charity to support those people, not for profit cafe and restaurant. And yeah, that's it. That's my story. And now I have 9 people. They are asylum seekers and refugees. They're working in this cafe. I'm really proud of this place because everyone here is asylum seekers. Even who's the boss, like me, I'm the asylum seeker.
It's really amazing, and you're such a great example of when people are allowed to contribute, then they will contribute. And you know, you weren't welcomed into Australia, you know, initially or properly, but now you're just doing such important work for people who've come here as well. Hamed, what's your visa status now? Has the bridging visa, are you still on a bridging visa, or do you have permanent residency or a pathway to it?
I granted after I had interview with immigration, I granted to have 5 years visa. It's called shape visa. Unfortunately, immigration this year's not easy with us. It's difficult and didn't give permanent to many people. So after bridging visa, we were thinking, if we granted, we're gonna get permanent visa. But they didn't give us permanent visa, and they gave some 3 years visa to some people, some 5 years visa to other people. And they said, for example, I have 5 years visa. They said after 5 years, you're gonna be interviewed again. If your country is safe for you to go back, you have to go back. If not, you will get another 5 years visa. They didn't talk about permanent visa.
It's so disgusting. I'm really so upset that that's the case. It's really appalling. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Seriously, it's not fair, you know. It's really not fair. I mean, I'm sure the story you told us, you know, I'm sure immigration is well aware of why you had to leave and why you need to be here. And I think to force you to live in that uncertainty is incredibly unfair. And it's amazing to think, like, look at what you've created when you're still living in this uncertainty. You know, I mean, I can't imagine. I guess you must. I mean, what do? Do you just try to put it out of your mind and get on with things, or is it always sitting with you?
Actually, you know, it was at the start. I was so upset. I was taking anti-depression, anti-anxiety because I was stressed about visa. What gonna happen? Why if they sent me back to Iran? If Iran government arrest me? If they hang, you know, those kind of things. And always I had a stress. And I was taking medication, and then one day I said to myself, Mohammed, best to stop your medication and just leave that part. Just have a life here. Okay, you can't go back Iran, that's fine. You don't want passport, it's okay, but live here. So I decided to focus on other goals I have in my life. And for now, I just think, okay, I'll just leave that part, visa part. I'll leave it to karma.
Wow. I mean, it just...
One day we will get to that, yeah.
It shows incredible strength for you, that you're able to think like that. I'm so angry and upset about this situation, and so impressed that you're able to just create something beautiful and to do good for so many other people in amongst this situation. So I've got a lot more to learn about Iranian food, but I would love to ask you about a few dishes. I recently made a dish for New Year. I'm sure I'll say it wrong, but Nowruz. How do you say New Year in Persian?
Yeah.
Nowruz?
Yeah, Persian New Year called Nowruz.
Nowruz. Okay, so I made reshte, a soup with the special noodles.
Ash reshte. Yeah.
Ash reshte. Tell me about this dish.
Ash reshte, one of Iranian traditional soup. Like, for example, Vietnamese, they have pho. We have ash reshte in Iran. Ash reshte is Persian noodle soup with mixed herbs and mixed beans. And we sometimes have it as a breakfast as well. And sometimes it's like a street food. Some shops in Iran, they only sell ash reshte.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are some shops they only sell. They are famous because of the ash reshte, especially in Tehran, capital city of Iran. And every mom in Iran can make ash reshte, by the way. But sometimes it's nice, especially in winter when it's snow coming. We love it, have it outside, so we get that. So it's like a mix of good things, protein, vegetables, herbs. Tastes really good, and I love ash reshte. All Persians, they love ash reshte.
Well, I think when I made it, I didn't make it soupy enough. It was too thick. So next time I've got some improvement to do. But one thing I found so interesting about it was the kishk.
Kashk, liquid whey.
Sorry, kashk. So explain what kashk is.
Kashk is Iranian Vegemite.
Okay, so tell me what it's made, how it's made.
That's the joke. I was telling to, in my cooking classes, it says Iranian Vegemite is kashk. Kashk is liquid whey made from yogurt. It smells not good by itself, tastes not good by itself, but when you put it in the food, it changes everything. It's delicious. It's like a liquid whey or curd. C-U-R-D.
So the one that I had was powder. So obviously there's I guess more of a shelf stable version, which must be because I bought it in a box, and then you'd add water, and then it would turn into that way.
Yeah, so possible. That's possible. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So kashk. Yep, Iranian Vegemite. I knew I would be learning today. And the other dish, so in lockdown, I got really obsessed with duck. There's this really great producer called Great Ocean Ducks in Victoria. They do free-range ducks. And I was doing every duck dish that I could think of or that I could learn about. And the one that I made was fesenjun.
Oh, my God. Fesenjun with duck. That's amazing. Well done.
So tell us about fesenjun.
Fesenjun is my favorite Iranian dish. In my cafe, it's #1 favorite dish. Like everyone loves fesenjun, but I do it with chicken. I don't do it with duck. North of fesenjun is Iranian traditional slow cook, like chicken or duck stew, like long time stay on the flame, on the slow heat, with walnut paste. We put walnut, we put pomegranate molasses, we put the spices like nutmeg, saffron, turmeric, black pepper. That's only spices. And then it's like one of very good dish in like Iran. I think lots of non-Persian people, they love fesenjun. Some people in north of Iran, they make it sour. And in Tehran, capital city, mostly they make it sweet. Some people, they like it sweet and sour because it's a nice balance, sweet and sour. Like I do in my cafe, sweet and sour. And yeah, it's like some people, they make it with kufte ghalghali. Kufte ghalghali is like meatballs, like lamb meatballs or beef meatballs. Instead of putting duck or chicken, they put meatballs in it.
Oh, that sounds amazing too.
Yeah, I like that too. It's like a delicious.
I have to say, it was one of the most exciting dishes I've ever made in my life because, as you say, you know, it takes a long time and there are so many different elements to have this sort of the sour sweetness of the pomegranate molasses, but then the sort of richness of the walnut and the richness of the duck as well. And then I put fresh pomegranate over the top, and it was just so exciting, and there's so much depth to the flavors. I just absolutely loved it.
That's good. That's very nice to hear. Yeah, everyone loved that dish. You should come try with the chicken. You may get with duck. You have to try with chicken.
Okay, it's a date for sure. So Hamed, it's such a privilege to talk to you, and I'm so glad that you're here doing what you're doing. But what would you like to say to people who haven't thought much about refugees and the difficulties that they have here in Australia?
Some people, they judge us before knowing our stories. I just want to say to those people, first, you know, better to just hear us why we left our country in that way than judge us. That's it. Sometimes it disappoints me, you know. Sometimes I never felt racist, you know, in Australia. I always had a good friends, good people around me. I think I was lucky. But I hearing from some people who came from my country or like Afghanistan, different countries who came by boat. They sometimes, not always, maybe 2-3 times I heard that they felt very bad about, you know, coming Australia by boat with other people. Like I had a friend who was going to English classes, and one of a friend in English classes she was from Thailand, and she had Australian like husband. And she was telling him, like my husband telling me, you guys who came by boat to Australia, they are spending our tax money, you know. And that girl who was from Thailand, like, you know, that was, I don't want to talk about it. It was like, it's not happy, it's sad. Not all of us like that. Some people, I have friend, he has building now, he came same time with me. Now he has building company. He has 40 workers, and he made job opportunity, you know. It's so many of people, they have like now business owner, they're making job opportunity. Yeah, there are some people, they're unlucky, something happened to them, or they're too old to learn English language. Sometimes they get Centrelink money. Of course, there are some people like that as well, but not all like that, and I don't know what to say. But
well, I think the best chance of ensuring that anybody in Australia contributes to our society is to look after them and to give them proper, secure pathways to education and employment and housing and everything that you need to build a life. I think that punishing people for coming here, in a different way is not the way to make the most of that human life. And I think it's great for people to hear your story so they can understand more, have more compassion and empathy, and of course enjoy the gifts that you bring to us here in Australia.
Yeah, I think that's the things.
Anyway, Hamed, thank you so much for sharing your story and for teaching me about Iranian Vegemite and so much more. It's really fantastic to chat to you. Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me and to give me this opportunity to talk.
Okay. Take care.
Have a good day. Bye. Thank you.
This is Dirty Linen, and I'm Dani Valent. We air the issues that the hospitality industry finds hard to talk about. We spend a week thrashing around each issue, hearing from different people with unique perspectives. We want to hear from you as well. If you have something that needs to be said about a topic, get in touch so we can include your perspective. Contact us at dirtylinen@deepintheweeds.com.au or hit us up on Insta at Dirty Linen Podcast. We can't wait to hear from you.
This